Welcome to Sonic Tonic. Join me, Jen Davidson, on a peaceful night journey into relaxation and calm. Unwind with soft reading and chill vibes in this lushly soothing indie show.
There we go. Ready and like that. Go. I look like Holly Hobby.
Should we try running?
You want to try? Alright, go.
This is a love letter because we all need them, and they come so rarely. I want to know, can I love you the same as before? My heart strayed out of loneliness. Oh, and my days are too long. Oh, and my nights are too serious. Daniel, won't you come by my school? Daniel, won't you come by my school? I want to educate you. I want to Mr. Blue, I've made some room in my mind for thoughts of you. How I like the way your hair does curl, like the way the leaves do twirl as they fall through our hands. Oh, down. Oh,
You're watching Sonic Tonic with Jen Davidson.
Hello, and I'm going to be reading to you tonight a selection by author Kenneth Grahame, and this is called The Recluctant Dragon. I chose The Recluctant Dragon in honor of my amazing guest you're going to get to see tonight. Her name is artist Katy Lipscomb, and we're going to actually have a phenomenal talk this evening if all goes well. I cannot wait. So in the meantime, this is the reading. The Recluctant Dragon. There once was a boy who lived in a quiet little village. He was a nice boy, but he used to spend most of his time reading books of romance and history and poetry and such like instead of learning his lessons. His father was always saying to him, "Now look here, my boy, this is all very well, but you must stick to your books. I can't have you always dreaming about dragons and knights and such nonsense." But the boy couldn't help it. He loved dragons. Now it happened one day that he was walking on the downs and he came to a cave. Smoke was coming out of the cave, and the boy thought to himself, "Oh, I wonder if there's a dragon in that cave." And of course there was. The dragon was lying on his back in the cave, reading a book of poetry. He looked up when the boy came in and said politely, "Good morning." "Good morning," said the boy. "I say, are you a dragon?" "Yes," said the dragon rather shyly. "I am." "Well," said the boy, "I always wanted to meet a dragon. What sort of things do you do?" "Oh," said the dragon, "I don't do much. I read and write poetry and think. I'm not at all the sort of dragon people expect." "Don't you fight knights?" asked the boy. "Good gracious, no," said the dragon. "I hate fighting. I never could see the sense of it. Why should one go about hurting people?" "Well," said the boy, "people will expect you to." "I know," said the dragon with a sigh. "That's what makes it so difficult. A dragon's position is really most trying." They became great friends at once and spent the whole day talking together. The dragon showed the boy his poetry, which was very good indeed, and the boy read him some of his favorite passages from books. But unfortunately, the villagers soon heard that there was a dragon on the downs. "This will never do," said the villagers. "We must fetch St. George at once." So they sent for St. George, who was a very famous dragon slayer, and he came riding into the village in shining armor. When the boy heard this, he rushed off to tell the dragon. "They're going to send St. George to kill you," he cried. "Oh dear," said the dragon, "how very inconvenient." But St. George turned out to be a very sensible man. When he met the dragon, they talked the matter over quietly. "I really don't want to kill you," said St. George. "And I certainly don't want to be killed," said the dragon. So they arranged a compromise. They would have a mock fight just to satisfy the villagers. On the day of the fight, the villagers all gathered together, very excited. St. George and the dragon appeared and made a great show of fighting. there was smoke and noise and clashing, and finally the dragon fell down, groaning. "I am vanquished," he cried. The villagers were delighted, and St. George was carried off in triumph. After that, the dragon lived happily ever after, writing poetry and receiving visits from his friends, and no one ever troubled him again. The end. Pancake, show me your bug face. Show me your bug face. Yes! Good boy. Let me get you a bug. Hi, everybody. We're back in the studio here, and I have literally been absolutely dying and fangirling over our next guest. It's ridiculous that I get to have her in the studio. It's ridiculous that she just happens to live in Athens, Georgia. Please welcome with me the great artist, Katy Lipscomb. And here she is, everyone. Like, this is Katy.
Yay! Well, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to have you here, Katy. And I think really before we get going, what I'm going to do is show people and give them an opportunity to see some of your artwork so that they know what we're talking about and who we're dealing with here. Because we're all artists, in Athens, Georgia. But you are absolutely a cut above, and I'm not putting her on a pedestal. So, Mux, may we please see some of the art here? Okay. So here we have, and I think I may have picked exclusively dragons. I don't know.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think I did pick exclusively dragons. A coral dragon. You can name your pieces if you want to, if you recognize them. I don't know if they have names as they come up, but I especially picked shots that showed you had the pens and pencils there because I saw recently when I was following you that somebody thought your work was so perfect it might be AI.
We've been getting that a lot lately.
I just think that's hilarious because people who have followed you long enough know you've really been making art from scratch for years. So I thought that the AI thing was wild, and here we have pomegranate. Oh my goodness. The detail on that, and you can see the close-up of her hand as she's painting with, you can barely see the bristles of the brush on that. A pomegranate dragon, and next we have this one, which I've seen more recently you've shared, I think, and green is my favorite color, and I can't help but fall in love with the shades of glowing green that you did there. I think it's really stunning.
Yeah, no, this one was a lot of fun because normally when I work it's watercolor and then colored pencil overlaid over top, but more and more I've been trying to do more full background paintings, and I found that gouache is really nice for that. So this one's actually probably 95% gouache and then some finishing touches with colored pencil.
And that's how you achieved this look.
Yeah, in, the glowing light from the back, those are glazes of gouache, and then the colored pencil I think really helps sell the illusion there.
Yeah, cover me up and just show Katy. I don't care. The dragon is so much more important than my goofy face. Okay, yes, we're just looking at this and talking about this glowing effect, and so I'm new to gouache, completely new, but everyone I respect who makes beautiful art uses that for backgrounds, and it's making me want to experiment with it. What would you recommend for someone who wants to experiment with that medium?
Yeah, definitely. So first I'll give just a tiny background. If you don't know anything about gouache, it's kind of this beautiful hybrid between watercolor and acrylic.
It's great that you defined it because I should have said something about that.
No, you're
this
fine.
Is why we have the pro here, everybody.
But the nice thing about that is that it's a little bit more opaque than watercolor.
Okay.
So you get kind of the look of acrylic, but then it's also water soluble. So if you want to go back and work on top, it reactivates that paint, and you can kind of it's nice. And
so
then
it's
also
blending.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. There's definitely huge draws to using it. There's also some drawbacks, but
okay.
I mean, for me, it works because I'm pretty accustomed to watercolor. So
right.
I think it's like a natural. But yeah, sorry. So I lost track of the initial question.
No. It's okay. Like, this happens all the time. I've lost track of the initial question myself, and it's totally fine.
But now I remember. The question was where you recommend starting.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that there's kind of like two camps. There's, you know, if you're talking about art in general, there's like kind of hobbyists, and then there's like people who want to do a little bit more professional, maybe show the work, sell it. So I always say, if you're in the hobbyist camp, start with something a little bit cheaper, like Himi gouache, Himi.
Okay, I've heard of that brand.
They're really pretty. They're like jelly-like. They work really smooth, but the drawback is they're not light fast, which means they won't really hold up to like that intense like UV or sunlight.
I see. So you've got to be careful where you hang that work.
Yeah, and it's not great for selling like you know, professional pieces or selling to clients.
I see.
If you are an artist who's looking to sell your pieces, or if you want really them to hold up pretty well, I'd start with at least like something like Winsor & Newton, like a very like established art brand that has highly light fast pigments.
Okay.
And that's what I tend to use is Winsor & Newton. I'm actually moving to Holbein, which is again a little more expensive than Winsor & Newton.
Okay.
But
your artwork is just so amazing that it absolutely is worth for you to invest in these pieces, because you're not going to do the identical piece more than once usually, right? I mean, I've seen that you sometimes have a sketch and then you go back to that later, but that's different. Like, once something is completed, like this piece right here, you know, you want it to be everlasting and heirloom quality and really special. So I appreciate you giving us that just mini lesson for any of us who are visual artists and want to know a little more about that medium. That really helps. Thank you.
No problem. It's fun to get to do this because you get to give like little like bite-sized pieces of information.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, bite-sized art tips. And speaking of bite-sized, we have the pomegranate dragon again. Can we go to the succulent dragon? This is my favorite piece of art that you have, period. It's my favorite piece of art, and I also just, in my neurospicy way, really like the way that you lined the pens up around it. It's like super cool, and it shows off your work in such a beautiful way. I wanted to ask you about this piece. It's totally okay if you don't know, but I was wondering, approximately how long did that piece take you?
No, that's a great question. So, this one I did as a counterpart actually to the coral dragon that you showed first.
Oh.
Like, I wanted one like sea and one land that had like that lush kind of like look to it. And so when we're brainstorming what should be next in the series, and this is where my husband, business partner Tyler comes in, because we riff and we come up with ideas together. But he was the one who suggested succulents, because he was like, if you want something that's really like visually stunning, similar to coral but land-based,
yes,
that's kind of like the natural, I think, counterpart.
I don't know if I would have creatively independently come up with that, but I wholeheartedly agree when I look at the artwork, and I agree it is a counterpart to the coral dragon. It's really beautiful. It's almost like you've got elements covered there. And this one I've been seeing recently in your feed as well, so I just thought it would be cool to show. So I had the paints there in addition to the gel pens and things like that. And what I didn't put up there, but I've seen you do the kintsugi recently, which is another thing I think is very special about art. Is it possible you would explain what kintsugi is to the audience?
Yeah, for sure. So kintsugi is this it's this beautiful process in Japanese pottery where you take broken fragments of pottery and then you kind of like meld them back together with gold filling.
Right.
So it's kind of like this really gorgeous tradition of taking something that's broken and then like highlighting the flaws, but like in this beautiful way. So you have a broken piece that's whole again. Kind of like the idea of like rebirth, like recycle.
Yes.
So when I first started this kintsugi series, and I actually started with a dragon, because whenever I start a new series, it's either a wolf or a dragon.
Oh, that's great to know. I didn't know that.
But
wow, a wolf or a dragon. Okay.
Not always, but that tends to be my kind
typically
of like,
okay,
my fallback, my comfort zone. But I kind of imagined this like blue willow, like porcelain dragon, like sitting on like a dusty, like antique shelf somewhere.
Yes.
And like it's broken, but then it uses gold to kind of like piece itself back together and like kind of come alive.
So beautiful. I think the whole concept is beautiful, that like we are not broken, and the things that are different or unique about us can be highlighted as something that's stunning instead of something that's shameful. And I think that's really beautiful, both in the world and in your artwork. And I appreciate that you do that. I think another thing I wanted to ask you about was, we're going to shift for just a minute from artwork to Athens. What are some of your favorite places to go in Athens?
Oh my goodness, I don't even know where to start. You can start with restaurants or parks or just like public spaces.
You can choose. I know it's like a little bit of a wild card question. If you need me to narrow it down, I can. But let's go with like, okay, what's a restaurant or two that you really love in Athens?
Let's see. Whenever right now, I think actually there's one that opened up a couple years ago. I think that it's the same owner that does Sea Bear Oyster Bar, which would want to be one of my top recommendations.
One of them, Sea Bear Oyster Bar. Okay.
But Puma U's. Have you heard
Puma U's? I've heard of it, but I haven't been there. And I am an absolute, like, I don't even want to say what I am for Asian food that's quality. Like, I love it. And I eat vegan, so I especially appreciate when places have stuff that's Asian. Usually there's a good tofu or a seitan or something there.
Oh yeah, they've got it's a very limited, like, curated menu, but they have something for everyone. They have, everything from meat options to pescatarian to vegan, from what I remember from the menu.
I'm going to totally try that out with my husband on your recommendation. I bet it will be amazing.
And they change up the menu pretty frequently. I think last time they were there, they actually did have a tofu, like, noodle thing, but I don't know what they would have now, because it's like kind of like a rotating.
It's a rotating menu.
Yeah.
I understand, and I love that. I'm definitely willing to try anything that's in the category of edible for me. So yes, that's amazing. So okay, Sea Bear, Humayu's. What about just like you had mentioned, parks or public spaces? Some place you like to hang out that isn't necessarily a restaurant, but it could be anything. I don't know if you like to go to the bars or you like to go to just sit someplace on a patio space or a park.
Yeah, so right now we have a daughter who's almost 3, so I feel like we're always exploring and trying to find new spaces.
Amazing.
So for like an outdoor space, we tend to like Bishop Park and Bear Hollow Zoo. Shout out to Bear Hollow Zoo, free
of
zoo,
course.
Amazing rehabilitation center.
Yes, for those who don't know, it's licensed as a zoo, but it is a rehabilitation facility, and I support that place. I absolutely support them 100% in what they do. What they're doing is wonderful for animals. Yes, so those are some great spaces.
Mm-hmm.
I like to add, I've recently been enjoying going to Dudley Park because it's right on the water, and that's where the Firefly Trail, the Lantern Parade will be this weekend or whenever it is, I think.
There was the Lantern Parade this weekend. Maybe we'll have to do that.
I'll send that to you. That's a 100% yes for you and your child and your husband together. And also it finishes early and is child friendly, so, but you get to walk across the bridge and like everybody has a little lantern. You can even just bring a glow stick or a flashlight. It doesn't matter.
That's so fun. No, I had no idea about this, so we'll have to look into that.
I will totally send you the info about that. Yes, it's a wonderful parade. And speaking of things I think of at night and that glow, I would like to talk about your Luna Moth plushie. May we please have some of the photos of the Luna Moth plushie up here? Because that is really, truly an incredible accomplishment, an incredible design. It has the look of something majestic and mystical, but also cuddly. I don't know how you achieved that, but you did. You did. And I saw you asking your fan base, too, like, what are you looking for? Something more elegant, or something more cuddly? And you seem to have managed to have all of it together. What did they decide with you?
Yeah, so I'll just do the briefest backstory on the design. So back in 2020, I drew this Luna Moth dragon.
Okay, and I think we have that.
Yeah, There we go. There it is.
Okay.
So the original design kind of kickstarted this whole series of like fairy, butterfly, moth dragons. And other artists have also explored similar concepts. But when I was doing this, I was trying to like pull in references from my own garden and butterflies and things that visit my backyard. Although I've never seen a Luna moth, but in later iterations, more like eastern tiger swallowtails and like monarchs make an appearance.
I saw Luna one time and it landed on my hand. I'll send you a picture. It's amazing. Yes.
But when we got contacted by a company called Gimme Swag, and they're wonderful. So they're kind of handling the whole campaign for us, and they have experience making artwork into plushies. This is something we've always wanted to do, but we just don't have time to like do a lot of like the back end stuff.
I understand completely.
So they contacted us, I would say like a year ago or so, and talked about wanting to do this campaign. And then when they asked what we wanted to start with, we immediately, when I slip into I'm talking about Tyler. Since we
got it. Yeah. Hi, Ty. I'm just going to keep saying hi, Ty, every time we hear Tyler. What's up, Tyler? We appreciate your input.
But when we were brainstorming, we thought that the Luna moth was like an idea because, you know, they're really, really, like, you know, kind of soft and, like, naturally cuddly creatures.
Yes.
And then also, since it was such, like a popular image that kind of kickstarted this whole series, it seemed like a good, I don't know, like a natural idea to start with.
Absolutely.
And the Gimme Swag team was fairly confident that they could translate it into plush.
Oh, very cool.
When we were doing these initial like mock-ups and iterations, and like you said, I asked my audience and got their feedback on whether or not they wanted something a little bit more like, you know, like fierce and elegant or cuddly and adorable.
Right.
Everybody has their own preferences, so I always get nervous with things like this because you want to please everyone, especially when people have backed your project before they see a prototype.
Right. Absolutely.
But we thought landing somewhere in the middle was appropriate, so looked up lots of dragon plushies that I kind of, you know, admired from, you know, other companies and things. Not to steal, but just to kind of get an idea of like what kind of like
inspiration.
Yeah, like, you know, patterns and things are possible.
Sure.
And what I found is that I really gravitated to the ones that were a little bit more I don't know, they kind of had this really particular look to their head. Not like this. So normally when you get a dragon pattern, they'll do a seam around the snout like this.
Okay.
And I think that it makes it cute, but almost like too bulbous and like cartoony.
Okay.
Which is fine for this guy.
About. Right.
But I knew for our plushie that something that was a little bit more tapered and like streamlined.
Sleek a bit. Mm-hmm.
So the seam instead will go like this, so that you're not kind of like doing a this on the snout.
I see what you're saying, and it will not make it pop so bulbousy.
Yeah.
If bulbousy is a word, we're using it today.
But there's lots of little decisions like that. I mean, that's just one of like many we had to make. The wings are another consideration, so it's gonna have a pair of double wings.
Okay.
Like an actual Luna moth.
Yes.
And then you'll kind of get something like this where, I don't know if it's picking up on the phone, but like you'll get machine embroidery.
I see.
And
the detailing.
Yeah, will be machine embroidered, and then you'll have machine embroidery too for like the eye spots.
It's gonna be stunning, and I'm absolutely gonna have to get myself one, like 100%. When they're ready, one comes home with me, and it might just be on Sonic Tonic forever.
That would be amazing.
Yes, it might just be added to Lilith, and I got Ralph here and a few others, and I should have brought my bearded dragon plushie that I have, but I didn't. I have a bearded dragon, and he's not here, but his name is Pancake, and he's very special, and I love him, and he's my real little dragon.
Aww.
Yes, and I actually have a friend who's an artist that is the one who taught me about gouache a little bit, because I kept saying, how do you make your background so pretty? How do you make that green glow? How do you make that orange fire glow? How do you do that? And he's always answering me with this type of paint. So that's how I learned about that. But he's actually made some art for a children's book about Pancake that I've written, and we are wanting to make a stuffed animal of Pancake because he is more popular than I am by a mile. Yeah, he steals the show all the time. He'll probably be on in a clip. Will he be on in a clip for this show? Yeah. He will, in a gnome hat and a beard, no less, because that's how we roll. So, yeah, I'm really, really into fairies. I have fairies and fairy stars and symbols like that all over me.
I was noticing your beardy earrings.
Yes, I have the beardy earrings. I love them. They make me super happy. I'll have to give you a pair. Remind me before you go. I'll give you a pair because I have an extra pair.
Wait, what the heck?
I have an extra pair here. Mux knows. I do. I have one in the front room. Yeah. It's unopened. It's brand new.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Thank you.
So you can have beardy earrings too. Yours are stunning. They're butterfly wings. I don't know if anyone can see. It's a little bit difficult to see up close, but they sparkle. You can certainly see the sparkle. At first, I thought you had moonstone on because the sheen
it looks like
a similar like rainbow flash. So, okay, we've talked about the Luna Moth. How can people get the Luna Moth from you if they would like to do that?
So right now, this again kind of goes back to how Gimme Swags runs their campaign.
Okay.
So I'll just kind of like go over that really quick.
Sure.
I'll answer your actual question.
No, I mean, it is all answering my question. Plus, I'm just happy to listen.
Well, so back in, I think it was, January, we opened up this campaign, and initially to get it funded, and this is for any of Gimme Swag's toys, you have to get at least 100 backers. And so since we've never done anything like this, we didn't really know how it was going to go. And it went very well. We got, I think, 428 backers was the end after the 10-day campaign. So
wow, you quadrupled plus what they asked you for.
It was very incredible. People are very excited. So with that, it's guaranteed to go to production. We're actually working with the design team right now to, well, actually, it was up on the screen, the most recent iteration. This guy right here.
Okay.
This is kind of what we've settled on, and now it goes to manufacturing for prototype.
Wow.
So this gets sent to the factory, and then the factory sees how close they can get to this.
Okay.
And then we get that prototype, and then after that it probably needs to go back for revision, because like very rarely do you get a prototype.
And then want it exactly as is with 0 changes, right?
Yeah, exactly. We need to make sure that this is high quality, looks good, people are excited about it, because it is exciting to have that many backers, but also terrifying because you're guaranteed to piss someone off no matter how well you do.
Oh, but there's always someone. There's always someone. And as long as we smile our way into that, then we can smile our way out of that as well.
But, so now answering your question, the campaign closed for those initial pre-orders, but it will reopen after we have a prototype in hand. And the prototype will go on the Gimme Swag page that we use for the initial campaign as kind of a replacement to this image. They updated it as it goes. So like right now, I think the page shows.
Ooh, I look like I have little fuzzy antenna. You see?
It's so cute.
I would like to stay very still and let everyone observe me as a Luna Moth.
So then once the prototype is done and it goes up on the campaign page, there'll be another 30-day period for people to place orders.
Wow. Okay. So that's my chance. Pay attention, and that's my chance to place an order.
Yeah, because the thing about the Gimme Swag campaigns is they're excellent. They run everything. They know what they're doing, but they are limited. Not edition, because there's not like a cap, but limited release.
Right.
They do one run and then it's done.
I see. So you're not going to be like coming up with more, and that makes it more of an art piece and a collectible as well, which is really special. And I can't wait to have one here sitting with myself and with Ralph and all of these guys. Tell me a little bit about your dragon. Who is this and what's the story?
So this is actually, full disclosure, it's my daughter's dragon.
Okay,
I think
that's
most
fair.
of the stuffed animals that we have are hers.
Full disclosure, I don't have a child, but I did teach preschool for a very long time in special education, so... Okay, so it's your daughter's.
But it's a Jellycat, and I mean, we got it before she was born because I knew that if we were building up a plushie collection, then it needed a dragon.
Absolutely.
So I guess we can say we have joint ownership right now.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
But she hasn't named him yet. I think he's a Jellycat, which is a kind of like a line of plushes.
I've heard of Jellycat before, but I don't think I have one. Mine is Squishable.
Squishable, yeah.
Squishable is what I have. And then one of them over here, this is Fig, is Littlest Pet Shop. But it's like a stuffed animal instead of...
So cute.
I know, and so soft.
Oh, it is very soft.
Right? And then this is Lilith. You can play with everybody I have because that's what I bring them for. And this one is good as a back support. And
I love
also,
this one.
if you look on screen and hold this snail up to you, you'll notice that the green part is gone and it looks like space because you see like this little green part up here is just completely gone and goes in the background because of the way that it's just bright green like our green screen. So, and I love that we have Luna Moth behind us right now. That's really pretty awesome. So, and we've also had a gorgeous background, by the way, but I haven't been paying attention to it because I've been paying attention to you. And speaking of paying attention to you, I expect there's so much more on the horizon. Is there anything besides the plushie that you have coming up you would like to tell your fan base about?
Oh, yeah. There's always projects in the works. I don't even know. There's some that we can't talk about that are like strictly under NDA right now.
Okay. So, ooh, NDA art, and you heard the secret first here. Yes. Okay.
But usually we give like kind of a first glance into those projects on our Patreon.
Okay.
But we can't really talk about some of those quite yet. But
Fair.
for things that we can talk about, the big commercial one is the plush.
Okay.
And then after that we've got, well, oh my goodness, I don't even know where to start. We've got 3 events we're doing this year.
Oh, wow.
Doing Furry Weekend Atlanta, which we always do.
Nice.
That's always a big one for us.
Okay.
And then we're doing Anthrocon in Pittsburgh, which is another furry convention.
Ooh, wow.
And then we almost always do Dragon Con, but we won't have official confirmation about getting in until later in the year. But
it's a thumbs up from me, Dragon Con.
Yeah, fingers crossed for Dragon Con. But it's always juried. They always have very high quality art there, so it's, fingers crossed. But it is always juried.
I remember one time meeting Jasmine Beckett Griffith there, and like just about losing my shit that she was like a couple aisles down from me, and it was unbelievable. And I can only imagine what it's like for your fans to come up and see you at Dragon Con available with your art, and how incredible it is. Like it's pretty incredible for me to meet you today. And I emphasize, I liked your art before I knew that you were here in Athens, and I only found out when I joined Instagram, which I'm old and that is newer to me. So it's only been like a few months that I've known about you actually being in Athens. And I was like, holy cow, I have to at least ask. But I am so honored that you chose to come to Sonic Tonic today.
Yeah, no, it's my pleasure. Honestly, it was just like a really, really cool thing. We get so many inquiries and things that come through our inbox, and I feel like, when it's something like this that's kind of like personal and especially local, I mean, you can't say no.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate you doing it. And whether people are local or national or international, what is the best way people can stay or get in touch with you and follow you? So we have new fans and old fans. How do they get in touch with you?
Yeah, definitely. So there's a couple different ways, and I'll do the ones that I'm most active on because I'm gonna do like my random Blue Sky account that I post on like once in a blue moon.
Yeah, same here. Okay.
So I am always posting on Instagram, Katy Lipscomb art, Katy. And then, sorry, that's my Facebook. Oh my goodness.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Brain thing. That's
Katy Lipscomb art, and I'm saying the B so that you know to spell it, even though we don't have to say that. It's KatyLipscomb art. That's Facebook, right?
That's Facebook.
Okay.
And you can just type in Katy and like scroll down a little bit.
And it'll come up. Fantastic.
And then on Instagram, I kind of post in tangent, like Facebook and Instagram at the same time, but I do slightly different stuff on each channel to kind of like, tailor it to the audiences. So Instagram, it's just Katy-Lipscomb.
Katy-Lipscomb. Okay.
And then if you want like a deeper look behind my stuff, Patreon is where I am, and that's kind of where my heart is right now, because truly what we do takes so much time and effort, and we have to fund it somehow. And so
funding arts, funding the artist. It's a big topic for me, for my friends. It's really important. So Patreon matters. Okay, so they can find you there how?
So our Patreon is it's Katy Lipscomb on Patreon.
Okay.
And there, I mean, it's not just a tip jar. We give lots of resources, lots of like very in-depth writings about the artwork. Whenever I do a new piece now, it goes to Patreon first, usually months before it goes to Instagram and Facebook. So there's like art on Patreon that hasn't premiered yet anywhere else. We talk about our events. We do monthly live stream hangouts, which is really fun.
Nice.
Our members really like the monthly live stream hangouts. It feels kind of like a little like club when we do it.
That sounds amazing. I'm gonna have to check out the little hangout.
Yeah, so I mean, you can join for, I mean, as little as $1, which is just, you know, kind of like tip jar level. But for $5 a month, you know, that gets you access to the live streams, like most of our previous posts. Like we have higher tiers available for people who want a little bit more, but really that $5 gets you a lot. And
a lot
also,
of access.
Like, lets us keep doing what we do.
Yes, and that's the most important part, is that we continue as a venue at JOKERJOKERtv and Tonic, and just as a town, for the spirit of the artist, we continue to support the arts. And I hope that however you choose to do that a takeaway from today's episode is Patreon is one way, but we all have a way that we can support the arts, whether it's purchasing a plushie from you or a print perhaps, or simply joining your Patreon to follow along and learn. I noticed that a lot of your work and how you create is very transparent. The process is very transparent on your part, and you share. So people, I noticed, who want to know what type of paint, you share what type of paint. You're not keeping everything secret and hidden and proprietary and closed off. You're allowing people to improve themselves and grow and shine as artists, because you show how you grow and shine as an artist.
Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely. I think that that's a really important takeaway, is like artists who gatekeep, like, I don't really know, you know, it's different than like, you know, proprietary like industry like stuff, and
yes,
like, but I mean, gatekeeping like a process or art is just silly to me. I mean, I learned by following like people that I admired, and like I asked questions,
right?
And I wouldn't be where I was today if like people were just like, I'm not going to tell you.
Right.
That's silly. I mean, art materials are available to everyone, and if you know, if you want to use gouache, like go use gouache. You're not going to like make something that looks just like my work because you pick up gouache.
I literally could not. I literally could not. So, okay, I think that we've had an absolutely brilliant conversation. I have loved talking to you so much, Katy. And I know how to stay in touch, and I think our audience does. I'm going to thank you so much for joining us this evening. And I hope that you'll come back and you'll stay in touch with me. And I definitely have to get you the Firefly Parade, the lantern info for the weekend.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. It was so fun to be here.
You're welcome. It was a great time. And next up, y'all, this is very exciting and personal for me. I wrote a guided meditation, and Chiron Label out of Connecticut is actually doing my guided meditations and producing them for me. So this is going to be something you can get on YouTube or on Bandcamp for free. But if you like to contribute, you can. It does come back to me if you contribute, as well as to the music artist. But this piece that's coming up is called The Open Window Revisited. And it is a 17-minute long, with retrieval, guided meditation. Everyone have a beautiful evening, and I love you guys. This is a guided meditation designed for relaxation, soothing away stress and reducing overthinking. Please do not drive or operate heavy machinery while listening. Find a quiet space where you will not be disturbed and position your body in a way that is most comfortable to you. You can sit or lay down. You may choose, as is recommended, to close your eyes. You are breathing slowly, deliberately. You can hear yourself breathing, and you feel your chest gently rise and fall. Each breath is cleansing, like a soft mist in the air that carries away all your worries and stresses. You begin to experience deep calm, a soothing calm that washes over your whole body, head to toe. Each muscle in your body begins to release the stresses of the day and softens as you breathe. You begin to breathe in a way that has been used for centuries to soothe people. You inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Release. You may breathe normally. Your body and mind are now so relaxed that you feel yourself soften and sink deeper and deeper into your spot. As you sink comfortably and softly into your spot, your mind clears, your lungs clear, your heart clears, your hips and back relax. Your fingertips and toes may even begin to tingle just a little bit. You hear the sound of my voice, and with every word, you go deeper and deeper into relaxation. You are so comfortable. You can't remember the last time you felt this comfortable, and you begin to drift off into a soothing, gentle sleep. Your eyes are closed and your eyelids are so heavy. It is dusk now. You feel the warm breeze blowing in through the open window. You find yourself fast asleep, totally and completely relaxed by the sound of my voice, and you begin to float through the big, beautiful open window. Rolling hills covered in tufts of soft grass go on forever, it seems. You float over them until your feet land ever so gently on the velveteen green grass. The grass is so soft on the soles of your feet that you can't even feel individual blades. Just a cushioning layer of earth that seems to vibrate beneath you. The vibration is so slight you almost can't feel it, yet you are sensitive and can feel its mystical energy pulsing up your legs, torso, to each of your arms, and finally, to your head. Your face feels warm and tingly as the energy pulsates out through the top of your head. With it, this energy takes away any thoughts that no longer serve your highest good. Suddenly, you become aware of a cobblestone path that looks so inviting, you run through the grass to stand on it. Curiously, the hills prevent you from seeing exactly where the path goes, so you decide to enjoy the moment and simply walk along the pathway. These stones feel cold and smooth in contrast to the grass. Ancient and beautiful, there is vibrant green moss in the thick cracks between the stones. You step forward. You feel at peace. Each step brings you a new level of peace. Then a shift becomes visible in the path. You have to look twice to believe what you're seeing. In a place of gray cobblestones, the path you're walking changes to smooth, sparkling clear and pink crystals. You have never seen so many crystals in all your life. Your real enchanted journey begins here. As I count backwards from 10 to 1, you melt into bliss more and more. When I reach 1, you will be fully relaxed and in absolute bliss. You take a step onto the almost glowing crystalline path. 10. You feel so relaxed and happy. You step again. 9. You notice yourself stepping so serenely. Again, you step forward on this path. 8. You smell the scent of peaches and blueberries in the air. Another step. 7. The aroma of fresh fruits and sweet nectars permeate your nostrils as you walk. 1 foot in front of the other again. 6. You feel a great love emanating from the crystals beneath you. Take another step. 5. Something blurry begins to appear in the near distance. There is a soft light around it. Closer, 1 step. 4. You begin to make out lines that form the silhouette of a cottage that looks straight out of a European fairy tale. Closer again, you step. 3. There's a billow of smoke, rounded and coming out of the chimney. The smoke is so puffy, it almost looks like cotton candy. Almost to the cottage now. 2. You notice full and abundant rose bushes lining your path to the cottage now. Last step on the path. 1. You are standing at the door of the cottage. It is a large, red, wooden door with some type of ancient language scrolled upon it. You instinctively know you should enter. You wrap your fingers around this stunningly ornate golden doorknob. You've never seen a door like this, and it beckons you to open it. As you twist the doorknob, you see a robin fly from the shingled roof to a gorgeously twisted old tree that's taller than the cottage itself. As you look around, you notice these trees are everywhere. Stepping into the cottage, you feel like you've been transported back to another time. There's a copper tea kettle on the stove, a rocking chair with a silvery quilt with more of that ancient unknown language lettered on it. You sit down, wrap yourself in the mysteriously mystical blanket, and rock yourself gently. You see the cottage interior is so beautiful, it's otherworldly. One wall is built entirely of amethyst crystals with nothing but an ornately framed silver window on it. You glance out the window and see more trees, and that summer fruit aroma wafts in. To the right of you is a staircase that goes down. Your curiosity inspires you to explore this safe haven without worries. You step down each step, and when you reach the bottom, you find a natural pool of sparkling turquoise clear water. You decide to go for a dip and place your clothes at the water's edge. The water is perfect temperature, just right for you. You swim in circles for a while, feeling refreshed and renewed with every gentle stroke. When you're done swimming, you dry off with a silvery towel, noticing it matches the blanket you used earlier upstairs. You wrap the towel around yourself and feel completely restored, calm, clear, and safe. You instinctively know it is time to return now, bringing this piece with you. You make your way back up the staircase, each step easy, unhurried. At the top, the rocking chair waits for you once more. You sit for just a moment, breathing in the quiet magic of the cottage, knowing you can return here anytime you wish. When you stand, you gently open the red wooden door and step back outside. The crystalline path glimmers softly, ready to guide you home the same way it brought you here. You begin walking back along the path, retracing your steps. With each number I count, you will slowly return, bringing clarity, relaxation, and grounded calm back with you. 1. You take your first step away from the cottage, feeling peaceful and steady. 2. The scent of fruit fades gently as the crystals shimmer beneath your feet. 3. The crystalline stones slowly transition back into smooth, ancient cobblestones. 4. You notice the moss between the stones again, vibrant and alive. 5. You feel your body becoming more present, still relaxed, but aware. 6. The rolling hills come back into view, soft grass swaying in the breeze. 7. You step off the path and feel the velveteen grass beneath your feet once more. 8. You begin to sense your physical body, your breath, your hands, your legs. 9. You float gently upward, back toward the open window, carrying calm with you. 10. You return fully to your body, feeling refreshed, grounded, and clear. Your breath is natural and easy now. Your body feels relaxed, yet awake. Your mind is calm, quiet, and steady. When you are ready, you may gently wiggle your fingers and toes. And when it feels right for you, slowly open your eyes, bringing this sense of peace into the rest of your day. You are present. You are calm. You are exactly where you need to be. From Athens, Georgia, thank you for sharing a bit of the night with me. Good night, sweet dreams, and sleep on it.
I want my Joker Joker TV.